sleepy too.
Oh, yeah, rubbing on his eyes.
Yeah. Okay. Just a minute. See now everything. Whoop.
Yes,
You
yes.
let me touch the computer. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. You're all right.
If there's anything to be touched,
she will touch it.
She will touch it. If there's anything to be picked up, she will pick it up.
Oh, is it upsetting?
Except if it's wanted to touch.
Yeah, except if it's something she's allowed to
up.
have. No. Hang on. I know you want to touch all the buttons. 1 second. Just 1 second. See, I have to make sure everything's working, kid. Okay. See, there you are. There are 3 whole daisies on right now. Okay.
And in 3 days, you're going to have your, what is that, 13th month?
15, Daddy.
15?
Well, she was born in October.
Yeah.
You know I don't math, as I say with some frequency, but yeah.
Golly.
Yeah, 15 months. 15 months of Daisy. You're so tired, too. Look at your hair. Hi. Hi, everyone. Hi.
Daisy can see her mirror image.
That's right.
In front of her.
Say hi. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's you. That's right. You're there. This is Instagram. You're here, which is YouTube and Facebook. And you're here, which is Twitter. Yes. There we go. Hi. Greetings to the Maltin family. Thank you. And the same to you. Hello and welcome. Daisy's so cute. We think so. We think she's
We may be
cute.
prejudiced.
Yes. If you haven't been here before, this is my daughter, Daisy. She's almost 15 months old.
And this is my daughter, Jessie.
Yep. Yep.
And I'm Leonard.
And that's a Leonard. Yeah. We got 3 generations, don't we? The funny sounds Jessie makes. Do I make funny? I probably do when I'm talking to her. I make funny sounds. Yeah. Oh, Larry wants your autograph days. I don't know if she can manage that yet, but we'll try. Thank you for so much for doing Sunday videos since 2020. I appreciate you so much. Well, thank you, John. We love doing it.
To say. Thank you.
It's hard now that the world exists again because we have different stuff we have to do for work. So sometimes we have to miss, but blah, 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 blah. But you know, blah, blah, blah. Myra says, great times with Leonard at Golden Boot Awards. Yes.
Oh, gosh.
Do we still have any of them? Because they used to be all the boots.
Yeah.
We
must
boots.
have some.
Yeah.
That was the centerpiece at the Golden Boot Awards.
Yeah.
Which was a fundraiser for the Motion Picture and Television Fund.
Yeah.
Was ceramic boots.
Yeah.
Hand painted.
And we had a lot of them.
By patients out at their home and hospital.
You clapping? That's so nice. We're clapping.
Yes, we're clapping.
Okay. I'm going to say thanks, everybody, for joining us. You want to go take a nap? Okay. Hey, thanks, blah.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Well, now off with Daddy. Thank you, honey. Thank you, honey. Okay. You have a good nap, honey bunny. I'll see you in a little bit. Okay.
I thought she'd never leave.
Did you show Daisy some classic Looney Tune cartoons?
No, it's a little early.
No, because I put stuff on. You haven't shown her anything with purpose yet.
Right.
You haven't sat her down and said, now I'm going to show you this or that. But she watches, we watch Disney every day. So she knows Disney Junior. So she knows her, she knows some of the most important characters already, you know. Living in this house, if you couldn't identify Mickey Mouse, that might not go well for you.
Be a handicap to getting around.
Yeah, right. Hi, Jane. Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
I'm sorry we couldn't join you last week. We ended up having to go early. They start everything early for Critics' Choice Awards. So that's where we were last Sunday.
Which was broadcast live from 7 p.m. Eastern. It's always Eastern.
So it starts at 4
Hello,
p.m.
Mabel.
Hi, Mabel. Now Mabel has come through. The other baby in the house. Hi, Mabel. The granddaughter screening of 16 millimeter Prince warms my heart. Yeah.
We've got a lot of nice response.
Yeah. My dad. So
that was not set up, by the way.
No, not at all.
I was really doing that. And Jessie on the spot ran in with her
Yeah.
her iPhone.
So
And
we
commemorated
have
the moment.
now we have
And I'm
both
glad she
dogs
did.
sticking to me. Thank you for the
Oh,
fur.
all right, guys.
Hi, so this is Logan and Mabel. This is the other children that we have. I like to say that I have one infant and two toddlers, which are these two. It was Jesse. We love seeing your rainbow hair on TV at the Critics' Choice Awards show. It was awfully funny. Yet Lynn says the same thing. I saw you on the show.
So many people saw us because we were sitting.
Well, no, let's start at the beginning, as we do try to do and rarely succeed.
Yes.
And now you're going to get two tails in your face. You're welcome. Oh, Logan.
Okay, Logan.
Logan. Last week, yes, the furry children. They're the furry children. So last week we get to Critics' Choice, which is at a hotel in Century City. And the thing is, you really never know what to expect. You're going to see a lot of people, and it can be a bit overwhelming, honestly, because it's rare that you see that many famous people all at once.
All at once. That's just it. It's exponentially more dizzying.
Yeah.
To see one famous person, to 5 famous people, to 10 famous people, to
50, 60, 70, 80, 100.
Yeah.
And the thing is, we don't often get to see TV folks. Now, more and more now, there's a mixture. A lot of people do both.
Right.
But in general, we tend to see more film folks than TV folks. And so the thing is, when you go into something like the Critics' Choice Awards, which gives awards to both TV and film, we're seeing a lot of folks that we never, ever get to see in person. This
organization used to be called the Broadcast Film Critics Association. And they called their awards the Critics' Choice.
Yeah.
They decided that if it would be clearer, cleaner, call it the CCA, Critics' Choice
Critics'
Association.
Choice, yep. And you have only been a member for a short time.
I was a member of the first year of their existence, and then I dropped out. And I was persuaded to come back 2 years ago.
More than 3.
3 years ago, that's right. Time.
Yeah.
Pandemic
so
time. No good.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I did, because if nothing else, gets us in.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
And mingling with a lot of nice people.
Yeah.
And a lot of entertainment reporters.
And critics across the country, which is really neat. But so we pull up, and the first person I see is a publicist friend of mine who is waiting for the crew from Banshees of Inisherin, except, of course, that Colin Farrell and
Brendan Gleeson
couldn't be there because they have COVID.
They both were stricken with COVID.
As did Michelle Pfeiffer. Michelle Pfeiffer had COVID, and Jamie Lee Curtis had COVID. So this is a thing that's just going to be appearing everywhere. It is what it is. But so she was waiting for the rest of the team to show up. We go inside, and as we're walking through a very crowded room, this is the lobby outside. Ben Stiller, Seth Rogen. We got to hug Ryan Johnson because it's always nice to see him. This is in my mind. I'm trying to go through. There was a bunch of comedians that I recognize: Nikki Glazer, all these different casts.
I'm going to interrupt you to say, normally we don't hang out with these people.
No, it's not like we're friends.
and I deliberately avoid promoting friendships with people I have to criticize.
Because it's awkward.
Yes, it's just plain awkward.
Yeah.
But the one sort of truce is during award season.
Well, but again, I always say this, Daddy, but you're not mean.
Yeah.
You've done this a really long time. And in general, you really, you do not choose to be mean. And you also, I think, because people know you've been doing this for such a long time, you really love movies. And so a lot of folks are just excited to talk to you about movies. They just want to geek out.
And generally, yes. But that's why I don't want to take that next step.
Yeah, because it would just be weird.
But I did get a hug from Guillermo del Toro.
Well, that's always a good time.
Because we've known him for like 20 years, and he gives hugs.
He's a good.
And
he's a good
but the day before that event.
Well, let's go through Critics' Choice.
Okay.
Because then we have to go back. So much happened. Basically, so Friday was the AFI luncheon. which my parents go to, and that is the top 10 TV shows of the year voted and the top 10 films of the year.
I've been on that jury for many, many years.
And you and mommy get to go to that luncheon, which is, again, imagine putting in one room the 10 best TV shows and the 10 best films of the year. Now, my mom's favorite thing for years with that was that she'd see John Hamm, because Mad Men was always one of those top 10 shows. So my mom loves seeing John Hamm every year. But even that, you're seeing all these people, and it's just completely overwhelming and mind-blowing, and you're getting to be a fan.
Yeah.
And tell different people,
because there's no suspense there. They've already won.
Yeah, everyone, they know why they're there.
Yeah.
So it's just
a celebratory event.
Yeah.
There's no press inside the ballroom at the Four Seasons Hotel.
No.
There's an arrivals area if you choose to go and get
Partake.
your photo taken or video taken.
Yeah.
But I did have one encounter that affected the whole weekend.
Yes.
I want to say hello to Ke Huy Quan, the young man, still young man,
Yes,
who is winning awards now for his supporting performance in Everything, Everywhere, All at Once, and whose career began when Steven Spielberg's, he produced Indiana Jones movie with Harrison Ford.
Yep.
And followed by the Goonies.
Yep.
And then his acting career kind of petered out. He started working behind the camera, and that's what I knew. He came over to me at the AFI in the arrivals portion of the day and wanted to shake my hand because he wanted to tell me, if I didn't know, and I didn't, that he took my class at USC 25 years ago when he was a student there. Unbelievable. What are the odds of that?
It's nuts.
It's
nuts.
And also, I had already volunteered to present his award Saturday night at the LA Film Critics awards dinner, and had written an essay about him.
So it's just so you have Friday with AFI, you talk to all these different people, you have a wonderful time. Then Saturday night you go to LAFCA, the LA Film Critics, and he decides, so you introduce him, you present him this award.
I introduce him to the award because everyone in the room has seen the film, obviously, by now, and they're all rooting for him.
Yep.
Not in a competitive way.
And again, LAFCA announces the winners.
Yeah.
So everyone in the room has won.
Yeah.
So there's no there's no suspense. There's no, so everybody in there is having a good time.
And he accepted the award, the plaque that I handed him. I stepped back, give him his time at the podium, and he launches into a speech about me. Heaping praise upon me, which is not an unpleasant thing, but totally unexpected.
Yeah.
And I got this nice round of applause.
Yeah.
Room full of journalists and film critics.
Well, Daddy, as you know,
industry people,
as many of your colleagues have even said to me, you are the GOAT, the greatest of all time. You are the OG, the original gangster.
Yes.
But it's true. A lot of people you work with grew up reading you.
Yeah.
And so it means a lot. We talk about Justin Chang, who is a fantastic writer, and he's one of the film critics for the LA Times. Yep. He's one of your students.
He's the lead critic.
Yep. And Justin is just fantastic. He's
a brilliant guy.
He really is. But he's, he always,
and as nice as he is, smart.
He's the sweetest. He really is.
Though we often disagree.
We often disagree
in terms of opinions on movies.
Yeah. But that's what it is.
That's irrelevant.
It's an opinion.
Yeah.
So you had that. We should also mention Pacino.
Oh, well, at the AFI luncheon is another low-key event in the sense that there is no press inside,
which is lovely.
Some people and columnists and pundits do write about it afterwards. I'm sure if you follow people like Pete Hammond on Deadline and other folks like that, you can read about the lunch if you're curious. But it's not broadcast anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And Bob Gazzali, the president and CEO of the AFI, American Film Institute, always has somebody.
And a mensch.
Yeah.
I just have to say that. There are a lot of people in this industry who may not be kind, who may not be generous, who may not necessarily even love the whole film world.
And then there's Bob.
who's just one of the nicest humans, loves film so deeply. And he's a real champion. I just have to say, James says hello from Australia. Hello in Australia, James.
Hello.
And Andy says he watched you on Good Morning America when he was growing up.
Oh, God.
Which is...
So Bob always has some senior member of the community give what he calls at the end of the ceremony where they highlight the films and show clips and all that. And we didn't know who was going to give the benediction this year, but there was a high-level publicist sitting at the front table.
And you know, if he's there, one of his
A-list clients is going to show up at some point.
Yeah.
It was Al Pacino, who came out and brought the house down with a rambling but hilarious account of the first time he attended the Academy Awards, which I can't begin to reproduce for you here.
No.
But it was very funny and spontaneous, and he was riffing on this thing. And then he's sort of reaching for how to close his benediction. He says, and the people who you meet along the way, people who help you and all that. And I'm sitting like 4 feet from him. He's on a little riser. And he says, and getting reviewed by Leonard Maltin. It's like, what?
Thanks, Al Pacino. I will tell you.
I got a shout out from Al Pacino.
If you haven't heard, we got to have Al on our show. We got to interview him on our podcast, and it was, if you'll pardon me, fucking thrilling. It was incredible. I recommend the episode because you just get to listen to him.
It's almost an hour and a half.
It's fantastic. I say that not about us, but about him.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. Anyway, so this is what my dad has had Friday, Saturday. So now Sunday, here we are seeing everybody ever. And it's mind-blowing.
And the way it works.
The highlight to me, because this was hilarious. Jennifer Coolidge comes walking through with what I would refer to best as a gaggle of gays enveloping her, all with their phones, filming her as she walks. Like they're her team. They're part of her team. They're primping the hair. They're like touching her, and she's walking, and people just start applauding. This is the lobby, okay? This is the lobby. People are applauding. It was so funny and wonderful. And I just thought, what a great, she's just walking through, and that's the she gets. I think, as I say, it's like everywhere you turn. So that
the way it works at CCA is you buy tables.
Yep.
The studios, the streamers.
All award shows work
all
like
award
that.
Shows.
Sony buys 1 table, 2 tables, and they can put whoever they want at them.
Right. It depends on how many of their shows or movies are being possibly awarded.
Yep.
So Netflix, of course, bought a lot of tables.
They have like 5 tables.
And what they do is they agree to give back 2 seats at the table for members of the media.
Yeah.
So we got 2 seats at one of the Netflix tables.
And it was Fortune Feimster's table. If you don't know who she is, she's a comedian. I really like her, but getting to sit with her made me like her even more because she's just a really, really sweet person. She's very funny, but very sweet, very warm.
Yes, and that special is good. Alice and I watched
Yeah.
a Netflix show. So we're happy to be with her and her wife.
But again, you're jumping ahead. You're jumping ahead.
You take the lead. Go ahead.
Because the thing is this, because this is a live television show, at a certain point, when they're telling everybody to come in, to sit down, they have to start filming. It's live. They have to start on time. So whether everyone is sitting or not, they have to start. So they're yelling to people, come on, everybody, we have to get in. Everybody come in the room. But here's the thing. Because it's a TV show, they take the numbers off the tables about 15 minutes prior to air. So they're yelling to everyone to find their tables, except there are no numbers on the tables.
Slight handicap.
And this has happened every year. Nobody knows where they're going. So we're saying, I forget what table, whatever, 27, we're looking for 27. It's the other side of the room. Okay. So then you're trying to get through. And if you did watch the show, you'll notice just how crammed it was.
Yeah.
They fit as many humans as physically possible into that room. And it was actually quite funny watching people get up as they won, because getting out is not an easy thing to do. But so the thing is, as you're doing this, trying to go through the seats, you're moving Kate Blanchett. I'm so sorry. And you're passing the women talking table that has Jessie Buckley sitting there and literally all the others. It's like, but so they're all there. Okay. Excuse me. Pardon me. As we're walking in, we see
Donald
Gleason, who I love. I love Donald Gleason. I love him so much. He was funny and he was silly and he was just like, not have been more charming.
Totally approachable.
And he knew who you were, which made it that much better. And I got a picture of the two of them, which was adorable. Oh, before we went in, we got to see Judy Greer, who we love. We got to interview her via Zoom, but hadn't actually seen her in person yet. So that was so much fun.
Thanks,
dogs. That was so much fun seeing Judy Greer. But I say, so now we're inside, snaking around. And again, so you see Todd Field, the director of Tar, who you enjoy so much.
I got to exchange a few words with him. Just no time to do more than that.
Yeah, as you're moving. I see Julia Roberts sitting over there. Again, I'm doing this. Then I see, I'm having to say because it's just everywhere you looked, there were just more people. Hey guys.
Hey guys.
Hey guys, you want to maybe not bark? Hi Logan, you want to maybe not bark? And I said, no, we'd love to bark. Anyway, it's just, and the front tables especially is
celebrity overload.
It was overload. So then that's where you have Guillermo and all these other folks. Oh, James Marsden. That's who just Marsden. James sorry, because there's Jason Marsden.
Okay.
That's why anyway, I see him. He has no right to be as beautiful as he is. Can I just say that? I've never seen him in person before. That is a very pretty man. And I told him, I said, please sing more. I love when you perform and you sing. He said, you're the second person who said that to me tonight. And I said, well, we must be right. Went past him, then we squeezed to our table. And upon sitting down, I see that right over here is the Everything Everywhere All at Once table. And
our
next
chairs,
to us,
our chairs are back to back
with the whale table.
Yeah.
And so directly behind me is Sadie Sink from The Whale. She plays the daughter, but she's also just become really popular. Brendan is then it's Brendan's girlfriend, and then Brendan. So that's who is directly behind me is Brendan Sadie Sink.
And then just past them is the Better Call Saul.
So
table.
Just past over here, just past the Everything Everywhere All at Once table is the Better Call Saul table. So
we were in the middle of the action all night.
And then to the other side of that is where Niecy Nash was.
Right.
And Julia Garner.
Mm-hmm.
And just next to that table over there was where Angela Bassett was sitting.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm sitting into the table, facing in the table, the first person that I see is Angela Bassett. And I'm going, yeah, exactly. Jason Marsden is focused. He's wonderful. It's James Marsters is the anyway. It was insane. It was insane.
It was great fun to be
so
enmeshed.
Yeah.
In all of this.
In party corner.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. Even if they hadn't all been winning, these groups are so happy about life. Adding to all of it, on Thursday, you showed the movie Close in your class.
Yes.
Which is a foreign film.
A Belgian film that is on a short list for this year. They don't call them foreign
international. Yeah,
international film for the Academy Awards. And we'll know Tuesday morning if it made the final cut. If it makes it.
But this is the thing. So he's sitting at the A24 table. So A24.
So the filmmaker, Lucas Dant.
He's sitting at the A24. So he's right behind us. So he's coming over to Daddy and saying, oh, it's such a wonderful night. Thank you so much. But so every time someone wins, Giancarlo Esposito, he's right there. It's like Eddie's just right there. And then because of yours truly, I'm very easy to spot. I like to say I'm a Where's Waldo for my friends because I'm very easy to see. Well, when Brendan Fraser won, I'm directly behind him, so you see me. And then every time the camera cut back to Sadie Sink, you see me. And then when everybody at the Everything Everywhere All at Once table kept winning, and they just kept winning, you could see both of us. And so I just kept getting these texts from friends that were like, you're on TV! What the hell are the odds? Honestly, it was just And to be in the middle of it,
Yeah,
of this
it was fun.
joy,
It was fun.
jumping and screaming, it was wild. And not like our life in any, like, that's the thing. Nothing about it feels real.
The
You know?
11 months and 3 weeks
Yeah.
to comprise the rest of 2023 will
You
not be
know,
like last weekend.
It was just bonkers. It was just bonkers. Man, oh, I love that. Oh, Mateus says, thanks so much to both of you for your gracious chat at your table following the Critics' Choice Awards. Lovely meeting you. It was lovely to meet you. That's the thing. We got to speak to so many people, and it was just wonderful. And when it ended, we got to say hi to Melanie Linsky and her husband, Jason Ritter, who are two of the best people.
But I'm bummed that I didn't, when we said a quick hello to Judy Greer, I didn't put two and two together as to why she would be there. Well, she's on the newish comedy series Reboot, which I love. And I would have said that. I did get to shake hands with Johnny Knoxville, but I didn't get to see Paul Reiser.
We got to meet Johnny Knoxville. I was so excited. I was just so excited to meet Johnny Knoxville.
And they didn't stand a chance because Abbott Elementary.
Yeah, Abbott Elementary's getting everything.
It's their year.
I will tell you a highlight. We were separated. My dad went to the bathroom at the end. So you spoke to Cheryl Lee Ralph separate of me. But then I was walking out of the room back into the lobby, and suddenly someone is touching my hair. And I turn around, it's Cheryl Lee Ralph, and she's going, "Oh, girl, I wish I had the nerve. I wish I had the nerve to do that." And I just turned and I was like, Cheryl Lee Ralph's touching my hair. Hey. And then I said to her, I go, "This room was not prepared for the Tony Award-winning Cheryl Lee Ralph." And I said that to her because it's true. When she got up there, people were not ready for Cheryl Lee Ralph. They were not prepared. It just went on like that. And we got to see our friends, which is always a blast. And, it's, I think, especially for everybody with COVID still not being over, but also just all of us having been through so much. There's
still the novelty of being out in public.
Yeah.
All dressed up.
Especially in my case, I got to shower. I have a baby, guys. I got to shower. I got to put on people clothes, I felt like a person, which I don't most of the time. We had such a good time.
It was great.
And it was so much fun. And as I say,
and it was just circumstance that we were situated where we were.
You could never in a million years.
No.
It was nuts.
No.
But so we just sort of sat. So they had tequila on the table and limes and shot glasses, but virtually no food. So the other thing that I was watching was everybody just get wasted. And that is a joy. There is nothing more fun than watching people get drunk and then have to be on television. So amusing. But yeah, so that was, man, that was our weekend. And then we went back to life.
Yeah.
Went back to regular life.
Yep.
I went back to my kid and being covered in God knows what foods. But for just a few moments.
Yes.
We could be in there.
I forget who said breathe, but don't inhale.
Yeah, right.
Good advice.
Yeah. The next big thing.
The next big thing for me is something I never dreamt. I never dreamt of doing. I didn't dream. I want to do this so badly. I never dreamt it would come to me. I voted in the Academy Awards this year. Hello. I've been watching since I was 10 or 11 years old, never thinking that one day I would be filling out a ballot. My God.
And yet.
Man, oh man, oh man. Now, I'm a member of the branch called At Large. I'm a member at large.
Let me just, so Cheryl Lee Ralph, not Charlie, Cheryl Lee Ralph. Look her up. I know her as a Broadway person, really, but she does TV. She's on Abbott Elementary, which is a wonderful part,
and she's wonderful in it.
But look her up. She's fantastic. Continue.
I was admitted last calendar year, but too late to vote
Yeah.
last year. So this is my first opportunity. But as a member at large, I only got to vote to nominate, that is, to nominate Best Picture.
Yes.
And that's because only the cinematographers nominate the cinematographers, only the screenwriters nominate the screenwriters, only the makeup people nominate the makeup
But then
people,
everybody
etc.
votes.
But then once the nominees are set, everyone gets to vote, except in a few special categories.
Yeah. But so this is sort of step one.
Yeah.
Step one, you got to vote your part. You got to vote
Yep.
for Best Picture.
Mm-hmm.
Now we will see on Tuesday what gets nominated.
Yeah.
And
they have some very prominent movie people who devoted their lives to the motion picture industry. Allison Williams. No knock on Allison Williams.
Is that who's announcing?
Yeah. And I forget who her male counterpart is.
Allison Williams.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay.
I don't
As
get
you
it.
say, it's no disrespect to her. I just don't understand why you would have her. But hey, did you like Close? Yes, he did very much.
Very much.
He very
Close
much.
is a beautiful film. And my students were very fortunate to get to meet Lucas Dant, who is the director and co-writer of that film. French language, Belgian origin. Because he's so passionate and so eloquent. And English is not his first language, probably his third after Flemish, French or Flemish, but so expressive. And it was a great way to start the new semester.
And always wonderful when, that's good. At least that Riz Ahmed is the is the male. Well,
yeah.
At least, hey, great. Lynn says maybe because she's in a hot film right now. Yeah, she's in Megan, and I get that, but I don't understand. But it's fine. It's fine. It's whatever. It's fine. She'll be great. It'll be over. It's fine. It's like 30 seconds of life. It's fine.
Yeah. 45 seconds.
Isn't it like an odd?
Yeah.
It goes on at like 6:38 and 30 seconds.
Something like that.
Now we've told you guys before how it used to be nominations morning. Some part of me hopes they'll bring it back. A girl can dream.
Yeah.
Now that it's a different president.
Yeah.
Maybe in my dreams, he'll bring it back.
They still have to have the belief enough.
I know. Well, but not for that. That part's not about caring enough. That part's about it getting out.
Essentially, it is.
You think?
Yeah, I do think, because it's not going to be on all three networks. It's only going to be on ABC.
Do you think that's because that's what they said, or because?
No, I think it's because they can.
Okay.
But
that's what I mean. Do you think it's because they said it's us or no one?
Somebody in charge of.
Just because remember, all the other ones are filming.
Yeah.
So.
Somebody in charge of corporate synergy decided.
Yeah. Anyway, so what used to happen, and we've talked about it before, but I love it, is a lot of us used to go to media and publicists would go to the Physical Academy building on Wilshire Boulevard,
the auditorium,
and we would come in the morning, and
we had to wake up like 4:30 in the morning.
Yep, we had to drive there in the early, and the thing is, it was fun. Like what it was really fun. And imagine you're going in and you've got all of these people, and it doesn't feel like it's this time in the morning because everybody's been there, and the crews, the different networks, they've been loading in 30 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So they've all been there for hours already. And when you finally all get into the auditorium, which is massive, it's a huge auditorium.
1,000 seats.
It doesn't feel like that many people. Like that's what always struck me is, I mean, there had to be several hundred, but it didn't feel like that.
And they catered the event too.
Yeah, there was breakfast when you came.
You come in from the quiet, the dead early morning Wilshire Boulevard.
And the color, the light at that time, which sort of that weird bluey gray.
Yeah.
A very early morning.
And you open the double doors of the Academy lobby, and inside tumult.
Our 400 publicists and
brightly
various
lit,
people ready to go.
And bagels and cream cheese and coffee.
With
and
all
tea.
6 of their phones.
Yeah.
And it's nuts. And you go inside, and then it's announced. And
then world news is about to be broke it, I guess.
Yeah. That's one of the things that we said. It's such an incredible feeling to be a part of any of that sort of thing. Even something like Critics' Choice. It's the idea that you're sitting in this room and other people everywhere are watching. But especially the Oscars, because the Oscars are global in a way that many things are not. And so to be there nomination morning, one of the things I loved is that as they're reading the nominees out, you'd get shouting from different corners because you realize you're like, oh, that Singapore's over there. They just announced their film. They're in for best, foreign movie. Oh, so-and-so's over there. They're shouting. And then because you had all these different crews set up, you would have people, a network from Asia, a network from Spain, a network from Mexico. So then when you're talking to them afterwards, many of them have just found out that their film, their person, whoever is nominated. So they're buzzing. Everyone is buzzing. And it's just, as I say, I really miss it. And I really wish they would bring that back because it was so special.
Yeah.
And now that it's just on TV, I feel like even more people sort of just don't think about it. But still, it'll be cool to see. Now, so I should actually, as I say that, I should tie in. So the question we asked today is, what would you like to see nominated? What are you hoping to see nominated on Tuesday? And, I know, so my dad's favorite film of the year is Fabelmans. And it's gotten a mixed response.
I know.
But that's so interesting. It's gotten a mixed response. Some people really love it. Some people, I haven't heard of anyone hating it. It's not an extreme one, but some people just didn't work for them. Obviously, there is the contingency of Everything Everywhere All at Once folks who will kill for that movie. It's just, as always, it'll be interesting to see kind of how people feel about all of that. Now, a few of you are popping up saying some of the stuff that you've enjoyed, but does anything else stick out to you, Daddy, as what you're hoping to see?
Well, my not lone campaign, but my personal campaign is for James Gray's film Armageddon Time.
Right.
And I really am fond of that film, and I think the title worked against it because the title was not self-explanatory.
No.
A lovely, poignant film. It was won by Anne Hathaway and Jeremy Strong as the boy's parents. Anthony Hopkins is his grandfather. It's a film that more people ought to see, but not having seen it, no nomination.
Right.
I don't think it's going to get recognition
unless
the screenplay.
Yeah, which it could.
Unless the writer's branch recognizes a really good original screenplay.
Always possible. One person here is saying they want Decision to Leave to be nominated. Interesting question. Do you think Michelle Williams made a mistake campaigning for lead? Well, this is the tricky part. Technically speaking, I guess she is the female lead of the film.
Yes.
So that's what she is. Now, the only reason she would have gone out for supporting is if she really just wanted to win. And this is where it does get tricky and messy. And, I think Michelle Williams has already won a lot of awards. And I get the feeling that she wouldn't play the game. That's just for me. That's just from me. I don't think she would want to just go into that category to win. As I say, she's gotten a lot of recognition through the years already. She's going to win Oscars. She's going to continue to be nominated for various Oscars and many other awards over the years. I don't think that it's a stretch to say that. But yeah, that's kind of what it comes down to. And you'll hear this kind of conversation repeatedly when you have certain actors who get put into categories that you sort of go, but they're not supporting, or they're not. Why would you do that?
It's a contrivance.
There's a better shot you're going to win. My favorite story to tell about this particularly is Bruce Dern, because I love him for this. Now, Nebraska, the film he was the lead in, and I don't think you could even play games that he wasn't the lead of Nebraska, the Alexander Payne film. They wanted him to go for supporting because he had a good chance of winning if he went for supporting. lead actor, lead actress is always going to be one of the hardest
Mhm.
categories, to get into, but then to win. And supporting, you just have a better chance. And he refused. Bruce Dern said, no, I'm not going to go into the supporting category just so that I can win. And I respect him for that.
Yeah, I do too.
You know, I mean, there too, though, but I also get it.
Yes.
I get why an actor.
It'd be nice to have that on your mantelpiece.
Yeah.
You know,
what actor, realistically, what actor doesn't want to win an Oscar? Really? You know, what person doesn't want to win an Oscar in any category?
Right. If you're in the game,
an Oscar.
You know.
But I get it. Okay, so we have a few. Is it better to win for supporting actress than merely to be in the top 5 for lead actress? Was I say,
all a matter of perspective.
I think it depends on the person. I think that if you've done this for long enough, and as I say, I think that if this is your life, and again, to say that Michelle Williams will be nominated again and again, is not like some controversial opinion.
It depends on what you want the lead of your obit to read.
That's fine.
Oscar-winning actor dies at 83. Oscar-winning actress dies at 77.
Once you have it, they use it forever. But they use nominated forever too now.
Yeah.
Oh God, there's this great bit. I saved this to show you. There's a great bit, 80 for Brady, where they're having the 4 women sit there. Okay, who has an Oscar? And they raise their hand. The only one who doesn't of the 4 of them is Lily Tomlin.
Mm-hmm.
And she starts to complain. They go, yeah, but you have this and this. And I'll show it. It's very funny.
Okay.
If you don't know what I'm talking about, there's a new film called 80 for Brady. And it's Sally Field,
Jane Fonda, Rita Moreno, and Lily
Tomlin. Hello. Like, even if I don't even care about this movie, to watch all of them, because why not? Let's see what else you guys are. Lobo wants The Banshees of Inisherin and The Batman. My husband really liked The Batman. My husband really, really liked that. That's his kind of thing. I get that. Oh, that's Larry says you should be nominate Leonard for a Lifetime Achievement Oscar for its decades. That's very kind.
Very, very generous.
Most of the animated films this year were pretty great and been recognized. Puss in Boots 2, Marcel the Shell, etc. Yeah. People are loving are loving Puss in Boots 2. I really want to see it. I really want to see it. One of my friends is one of the lead characters in it, so I'm excited to support him in that.
I'm still catching. Alice and I are still catching up.
But you've been watching a movie a night. You guys have been doing well.
Yeah, we watched All Quiet on the Western Front last night, the new German production, which is really good. Yeah. Really good.
I want to see Saint Omer and Decision to Leave nominated.
Oh, Saint Omer.
Let's see what else.
Really great.
What else are you guys talking about? Armageddon Time only played 5 days here. People complained as they thought it was a sci-fi film. That's what's tricky.
Exactly.
Rodrigo saying that he wants After Yang to get some love.
Mm-hmm.
What else? I think All Quiet on the Western Front will crack Best Picture, and Andrea Riseborough will crack Best Actress. Now, have you guys heard about this? Do you know what I'm talking about with Andrea Riseborough? Do you know about this? Okay, she's in a film. I think it's called To Leslie, and people are saying that her performance is absolutely incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Now, saying that does not surprise me in the slightest. Again, it's Andrea Riseborough. What can't she do?
Yeah.
She can do anything. She's a chameleon. Actually, the problem is she's such a chameleon, people don't remember who she is. Because she's
a great British actress.
She looks so different all the time. She does different accents all the time. So people really don't recognize her. So she's in this film, and apparently a number of big names have been hosting screenings in LA. Kate Winslet, Kate Blanchett. People are hosting these screenings around the city because they want people to see her performance in this film.
Kate Blanchett called her out in her acceptance speech at our dinner.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a number of people who are really pushing to try and get her out there for this. Now, again, I think Andrea Riseborough could be nominated for most. And I think it's pretty clear she doesn't make any of the choices she makes for notoriety because she does all kinds.
Yeah.
She does weird little movies. She does big movies.
Did she just direct her first film too?
Did she?
Yeah, I think so.
But yeah, so that's another interesting one.
We met her the last time we were at Sundance.
Yeah, she was really nice. Sundance is happening right now, and we're not there this year, which is a bit of a strange feeling because everybody I know is posting about it. Mark Maron is into Leslie and has been pushing her hard on his podcast. I'm sure I say a lot of people, Doug Haley is the one who first told me this. He said that a bunch of people he works with are hosting these screenings because they're determined. He wants to bring over a DVD so we'll watch it. I said, I can't watch anything with Daisy, which is true. If she gets in with just Oscar weekend push, it'll change the game. I don't know if it'll change the game, Joshy, but I think that it's so interesting that they're doing this. Have you seen it, Josh? Did you see the movie yet? Yeah, I always think it's interesting when somebody rallies. And because she is so respected by her peers, I think it's cool that they're doing that.
And remember, only the actors nominate the actors.
Yeah.
So it has happened many times that someone who isn't a familiar name to the public,
yeah,
but is well known and respected in their area, in their craft, can get into the final 5.
Yeah. The races, but Craig says the races between Michelle Yeoh and Cate Blanchett. Yeah, but I mean, the thing I will say is, again, I think Michelle Yeoh has had such a fantastic return over the last few years, where she's really getting pushed towards the front.
Well, yes,
she's doing more
that
lead
film,
work.
That's whether you love that film or not, shows her off in a way that we've never seen her before.
She's pretty damn spectacular. I really think so. She has so many fellow actors behind her, which is wonderful. Yes, Lynn, exactly. That's the thing. There are people who have worked, something that a number of us discussed actually after Critics' Choice, is that a lot of people who were nominated, but a lot of them who won, are folks who've been in this industry a really long time. And I think that there is this sort of a camaraderie of people. I mean, the fact that you have, I've got to say, the fact that you have Ke Huy Quan nominated at the same time as Steven Spielberg is so special. It's really special because the two of them get to keep celebrating together. And what are the odds? Because movies take a long time to make. What are the odds that they would be here at the same time?
Yeah.
It's not a given. And so it's really incredible to see the two of them having so much fun together and getting to celebrate together.
Yes, great warmth.
When you have Michelle Yeoh or Andrea Riseborough or any number of these really talented people who've worked for a long time, it's the same reason why Melanie Lynskey has gotten so much attention with Yellow Jackets, because anybody who knows her, either as a person or just as an actress, loves her. She is so talented.
What's not to love?
She is so talented. So people love that she's getting awards and attention and everything else because she deserves it, but also because they've known that she's fantastic this whole time. And we're just excited other people are finally getting the memo, So yeah, I think there are a number of those people. Similarly with Niecy Nash, she's worked forever. She's so happy to be doing this. It's, there's a lot of people who, as I say, that especially this year, who've been doing this for such a long time. It's just special. So someone over here is saying, yes, Melanie Lynskey is wonderful. It's true. Somebody's asked if we think that people only do certain roles in hopes of winning awards. I think that
I'm sure that happens. I'm sure agents have said to their clients, take this part. It's not the biggest role in the movie. But if you play this well, you'll get an Oscar nomination.
Yeah,
I'm sure that conversation has taken place many times.
And for actors, I think, and again, this is true.
Well, just watch Christopher Guest's movie for your consideration.
That movie's so good.
It says it all. It says it all. Using satire to tell the truth. Which is what satire often does.
And Christopher Guest is ridiculously good at it.
And his whole ensemble.
Just the most. He really does. His cast of characters, some of the most talented people that exist. Which is also what's funny. Well, Jennifer Coolidge, I didn't even mention. Here's Jennifer Coolidge, who has talked really openly about the fact that she didn't work for a long time, not because she didn't want to. Because it wasn't there. Nobody was asking and she wasn't getting anything. And then she does White Lotus. And people who either only knew her as Stifler's mom from American Pie or just sort of recognized her kind of from Legally Blonde are going, oh, who's this? Now, because I'm a huge Christopher Guest fan, I know her from a lot of other things. But it's like people are just going, oh.
Now she's the flavor. Oh. Now she's the flavor of the month.
She is. Yeah. And thankfully, she's having a blast. But she's also smart, and she knows that these things don't last. And that's what you have to remember is that Mike White, too, I loved his speech at the Golden Globes. Mike White said, you all turned me down. It's the truth. You know, you're hot while you're hot, and then it can end sometimes. And that's just the industry. You know, that's just the industry. But, you know, it is what it is. If you want to see an early Jennifer Coolidge performance, she was in an early episode of Seinfeld. Yeah, that's what I mean. People, you know, we always talk about our favorite thing is the overnight success that is not overnight in the slightest.
Yeah.
So Josh says he would love to see Barry Keoghan nominated for his first Oscar. Been doing such fantastic work for a while. He's another one that I think actors know who he is, and then other people don't necessarily, but I think they're going to start to. He's in Banshees of Inisherin. He's an Irish actor, and he's quirky as hell, but very good. 1 second. Quentin Decker says, this one is for both of you. There's a fan theory that states that a film is 27% better if a certain actor is in it. Which actors, past or present, would you say make a movie 27% better?
I haven't the foggiest idea. Years ago.
Fred Willard.
Years ago, God bless Fred Willard. Years ago, Fred Willard makes every film 27%.
That's what I'm saying.
But I had a producer who talked about how you raise money for a movie internationally by selling off the rights to Taiwan and the rights to distribute in South America or country by country. And there's a price tag next to every actor's name. So back then, like Reese Witherspoon added $50,000 to the price for Taiwan rights. And her ex-husband, Ryan Phillippe, added only $5,000. I mean, I'm making all this up, but it does exist. Probably not written down.
Yeah.
Probably not, codified that way, but it does exist. There are people who equate certain names with X number of dollars you can fund your movie with. And that's why Mr. X or Ms. X gets cast as opposed to Ms. Y or Mr. Y.
Yeah. Well, that Q rating. Look up Q, the letter Q. Look up Q rating. Google it, and you'll see there are people who have. There's a longer name for it.
I know,
like Niecy Nash.
No, or like our guest this week, Zach Guilford.
Yeah.
He must have a huge.
He
Q
must
rating
have a big old one. Yeah.
He keeps getting cast in series.
Yep.
And he's good.
He's very good. But that's the whole thing. Look up Q rating. There's something very certain actors have a very high Q rating, and those are the ones who keep working. They're the ones who are always on something. If they had a show and the show got canceled, they're on something else. That's why I say Niecy Nash. She must have a really high one because every time she's on a show, even if that show ends, she gets another show.
Yeah.
That's how you know that somebody does really, 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 really well with ratings.
And there are people in the television world, I'm sure the streaming world now too, who depend on numbers.
Yeah.
It's all about the numbers.
It's all about numbers. They don't care.
And so those numbers are from market research.
Yeah. Ben is saying, God bless Roger Ebert. He coined the M. Emmett Walsh rule. If he's in it, the movie's good.
Yep.
I'd go with that. I'd absolutely go with that. But no, again, it's funny. The business part of this business is what's funny, because all of a sudden you're breaking things down into percentages and not. And the reality is you can do a whole hell of a lot and still get nothing. You can have a film packed with stars and nobody wants to see it. Still always interesting. So Jennifer Lopez movies must make money, right? I don't know anyone who goes to see them or anyone who goes to see them in theaters. I don't know them. And I don't say this as any sort of a slight to her. people don't watch the movie she's in, but they must do really well on demand or other places because they keep happening. But how many people do you know who've gone to see any of this string of movies that she's made? Almost always some sort of rom-com.
Mm-hmm.
She does a lot of these rom-coms. Who sees them? Do you even know they exist? They keep happening. So somewhere they make money. Somewhere they have to make money.
And she's good at them too.
Yeah, she's a good actress. And a lot of them are just fun. Like a lot of them are just fun movies. You know, they come on and you put them on because they're fun. They're fine. It's nothing special, but it's amusing. And that's enough sometimes. You talked about Jennifer Aniston with this years ago.
Well, yes.
They kept trying to put her as a lead in movies.
And Mike White wrote her best movie.
Yeah.
The Good Girl.
The Good Girl, such a good film. People just didn't go see her when she was the lead. And think about that. There's a handful of people who are that way, where you put them as a lead in a film.
Well, they're celebrities for sure.
Yeah.
You know, the photogs take their pictures to end of time.
Yep.
But nobody's plunking down money to see them.
People will not go see the movies. And as I say, you just never know.
Would you hand me that stack over there?
I will.
I want to squeeze in a little show and tell.
I will. 1 second.
We had fun the other day.
Let me just, some of the other ones that people have mentioned.
Yeah.
A Man Called Otto. They're hoping that gets nominated, which you liked very much.
Yes.
Goodnight Oppie for Best Documentary. Raphael's hoping that both Colin Farrell and Brendan Gleeson get nominations, which I understand. Tony says, watch Tar on Friday. Overrated and overlong. He would agree. I think it's probably time to nominate Bill Nighy for an Oscar. Never a bad time.
He won Best Actor at the LA Film Critics Awards dinner and was so charming. He makes a self-deprecation in art, and he's a very winning fellow.
Jim says he's hoping that She Said get some nominations, and he just watched Jesse Eisenberg's entertaining directing debut, When You Finish Saving the World, which clocks in at 88 minutes. I am looking forward to watching that. I like Jesse Eisenberg very much, and I hope that I like his film. And the other one here is Nick is saying, since the film is getting the Criterion treatment, what are your thoughts of Triangle of Sadness, and do you think it will be nominated?
It might be nominated for screenplay, especially, and for international film possibility. Possibility.
Yep.
It's Ruben Östlund's new film, and he's an acquired taste for some people. It's very dry sense of humor.
Yeah.
But it's a good movie. The LA Critics gave Dolly De Leon our supporting award, and she plays a key role in the final section of the movie, Triangle of Sadness. A tough movie to describe.
Yeah.
But social satire.
One of my friends is a publicist on the new Judy Blume film, the documentary about her. And he's going to send me a link to that, which I'm really excited about because I'm interested.
We had the pleasure of interviewing Clint Howard the other day on, that's going to air next Friday.
Yes.
It's going to drop next Friday on our podcast. But in preparation for that, I read this book that came out 2 years ago called The Boys.
I love this cover. I think this is so sweet. There's Rance and Ron and Clint. I think it is such a sweet cover, The Boys. And Ron's daughter, Bryce Dallas Howard, did the forward. So it's a real family affair.
Very interesting book to read. It's a quick read, but a very thoughtful one. And it's very impressive, too. It's very impressive.
Clint was impressive.
Yeah.
As soon as we got offered him, Nick says, Clint, the baby elephant in the Jungle Book, which he tells a story about about Walt Disney. I was really excited when we got offered Clint. There too, just if you don't know. So what happens with us for the podcast, for the most part, the way that we book our guests, and the way that TV shows book their guests, et cetera, is you get from a publicist an email and it'll say, we have these people. Do you want to speak to any of them? And you'll say, yes, I would like to try for this, and this person. and then they present that to the the talent's publicist, which is a different thing, or they present it to the team. And if the team says yes, then you get to do the interview. So when we were offered Clint, I was excited because he's worked forever, and I thought that he would have some interesting stories, and he did. And he's also just really really thoughtful.
Yeah.
He's really thoughtful.
Yeah.
And he had a lot of beautiful things to share, and really loves his family.
Yeah.
He really loves his family and is very proud of his family.
Yes.
And it was beautiful to listen to.
That's why this book is good. But I'm sorry that I didn't listen to it.
So they've done. He and Ron did
An audiobook.
The audiobook. So if you're like me and you're dyslexic and you can't read, I highly recommend listening to that, because how much fun would it be to listen to the two of them telling these stories?
Yep, exactly.
I think Mommy's gonna to download it. My mom loves audiobooks.
Yeah. Anyway, that's coming up
next week
on Friday.
This episode is Zach Gilford. And if you don't know him by name, look him up. He was on Friday Night Lights. That's how he first became famous. But he just works a lot. And he's married to Keely Sanchez, another actress that I like. Yeah, look him up. He's interesting, and he has really cool stories. Now, for a bit of show and tell before we say goodbye.
Felix the Cat, the first heavily merchandised cartoon star
You're going to say
in the
cartoon.
1920s.
Here we go.
But Felix was more popular and more merchandised in England than he was here in the
I'm
U.S.
sorry. Can we talk about that drawing on top?
Yeah, well.
Because that's not that's Felix's cousin.
Yeah.
That is, yeah.
But this is for yarn, of course. For
Oh, it's for you. You say that. Of course. I don't know it's for yarn.
Oh, yeah.
Felix
keeps on knitting.
Keeps on knitting.
Because there's a song. There's a popular song called Felix Keeps on Walking.
Ah, Pathé presents. Okay. That's cool.
From the 20s. 100 years old.
Jesus.
Also almost 100 years old.
I love these.
Now, actually, officially 100 years old.
Yeah, yes.
Hal Roach's Our Gang.
Okay.
And this is a box with a handkerchief in it. It was licensed. It's the silent era, Our Gang.
And there's little folded hankies.
Never used.
Inside.
And one of the biggest stars of the silent film era was the cowboy Tom Mix. And the irony is that Tom Mix died
Does it still
in
work?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tom Mix died in 1940.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tom Mix died in 1940, but the character of Tom Mix starred on a radio serial for kids sponsored by Ralston Purina. And he was played by an actor named Curly Bradley. So though the real Tom Mix departed this earth, he lived on in his alter ego on the radio, and this is the tie-in for that. But the pictures are all of the real Tom Mix on this. They call it like a movie, a private movie projector, because you could spin the roll.
Except you can't. Except that you can't.
No.
No. I think we need
the other way. The other way. There you go.
There we go.
There you go. Here's Tom and his famous horse, Tony.
Sort of is working. Considering its age, I don't think we can judge it. Yeah, you have to roll it back on.
Okay.
Okay.
Unless this is functional things become interesting as objet.
Objet darts.
Yes.
I know it's d'art. I just prefer darts.
If you hang around long enough.
Yep.
Right? This is a film can, a 16 millimeter film can from the Kodascope library. Eastman Kodak decided to get into the home movie business in the 20s by making 16 millimeter prints of shorts like Felix and comedies, cartoons, and cut down feature films available for the new home projectors. And they did these beautiful cans. They're brass. They polish up really nicely.
They do. Shiny objects. Craig says, Leonard, I loved how you handled the question from the Sony Pictures Classic guys when they asked your opinion of Return to Seoul. I thought you might have said you did it again. Yes, we interviewed two really interesting guys from Sony Classics, and my dad did not care for Return to Seoul. And so when they asked about it, he very politely moved forward, which is something you do well.
Duck and dodge.
Rental charge for each day held, whether used or not. I wonder what your rental fee would be for this at this point. $5 billion.
Anyway, just
nifty.
A little miscellany.
Yeah, I would describe us that way.
We're a little miscellany.
We're a little miscellany. I think it's a solid way to go. Yes. No, it is. Look, it's always funny. I have a theory. Okay. And it is, I just asked Jesse about film cut downs the other day. Cut downs? Yono say, tell me more. I have a theory, and it's a pretty simple one. If someone likes something, they're going to tell you. If they have not said anything about it, odds are they didn't like it. So when we're at a film festival or something like that, and a director comes up and he goes, hey, did you see my movie? Did you like it? What I want to say is, if he likes it, he'll come find you and say, hey, I really liked your movie. Otherwise, he will not. And that I'd recommend that to everyone. If you're going to ask somebody to say, generally, if they like it, they would love to tell you they like it. And if they don't, they're going to run the opposite direction. From me to you. From me to you. Having watched you have to run or scramble or very politely go.
Yep.
There have been some adventures.
Yes.
There have been some adventures.
Some we can talk about and some we can't.
Some we can never talk about ever. I'll leave you with something that my dad's getting to do right now that I think is pretty cool. My dad, the Santa Barbara Film Festival named an award after my dad several years ago because you have been hosting that night for 20 odd years now.
30.
So it was, forgive me, 30. It was called the Modern Master. Now it's called the Maltin Modern Master for the last couple of years. And this year's recipient is Jamie Lee Curtis. And so you have been on the phone with her going over clips and stuff like that.
Yep.
And I said to my dad, so wait, so you interviewed both of her parents? And he did. And we're trying to think of how many families. I realized you've interviewed several Houstons.
Yes.
You've met some Houstons and interviewed some Houstons.
I did get to meet and interview John Houston briefly, but memorably.
And we've had you've met many of the other Houstons.
Danny, Tony, Jack,
and
Angelica.
Yep. So so we've got Houstons in there. Have you met Bryce Dallas Howard? Did you ever meet Rance?
Never met Rance.
Okay, so we've got two Howards now.
Yeah.
We've got two Howards. But I just thought, what a cool thing to get to speak to her when you've interviewed her parents, but also when you watched her parents for so long. You grew up watching them.
Exactly.
And thankfully, she is someone who respects her parents and I don't think has a problem with people knowing how much they mean to people.
Right.
You know?
Oh, no. She's very, very comfortable with that.
Yeah. Yes, the Arquettes. Yes, we've had many in Arquette.
now to Mr. Evanier.
Oh boy.
I will remind you, sir, that Columbia Pictures did release a 50-foot 8mm color edition silent of Lawrence of Arabia. 3 minutes out of Lawrence of Arabia that you could buy for like $9.95. So
Evanier. And now you know that. Oh, there's a good. No, I have not. The answer is no, Craig. I haven't seen the Weird Al film yet. I really want to. As I say, because of the kid, I really don't get to watch movies.
Oh yeah, The Bridges.
The Bridges. You had some Bridges.
I did interview Lloyd.
Yes.
And I've interviewed Jeff several times.
Yep.
And I don't.
You interviewed Bo?
I don't know if I ever have.
I think you've met Bo.
Yeah.
I know you met Bo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny though, isn't it?
We interviewed.
You've met Melanie, and you've met her mom.
Tippy Hedren.
You've met Tippy. And we have met Dakota. I don't think you've interviewed. Well,
No.
I know you haven't interviewed
Met her
Dakota.
briefly at Telluride.
Yep. Have you
Mhm.
interviewed Melanie Griffith before?
No.
Did you ever interview Tippy?
No. Yes.
Okay.
I interviewed Tippi Hedren
Yeah.
at an event at the William S. Hart Ranch, celebrating the anniversary of Modern Times, because Tippi Hedren worked for Charlie Chaplin, and maybe the last person alive to be able to talk about being directed by Charlie Chaplin.
Yeah.
That was in his sadly forgettable movie, A Countess in Hong Kong, with Sophia Loren and Marlon Brando, or with Marlon Brando and Sophia Loren, depending on how you want to do that. Anyway, so Tippi is, lucid and
Oh God, yeah.
active, and can talk about Charlie Chaplin.
It's amazing.
And there are
isn't it?
pictures on the set of that movie with little Melanie,
Crazy, right?
running around on the floor.
Crazy. Oh gosh. Well, as I say, we have some interesting stuff coming up that I'm looking forward to. And always excited to share with you. So we will see you next Sunday, because I don't think there are 17 more award shows next weekend, though there could be, and I could be wrong. Thank you, as always, for joining us, everybody. We really, really have so much fun with you. And we hope to see you next week.
Be well and be kind.